Welcome to the Holistic Soul Sisters Radio, a channel created to help you heal holistically and grow spiritually. I'm your host, Mandy Rose. I'm not afraid to talk about taboo subjects, so nothing is off limits here. Make sure you hit subscribe and get ready to learn more from me and other experts on all things health, spirituality, astrology, lifestyle, relationships, and so much more. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Holistic Soul Sisters Radio. We are continuing on with our energetic healing mini-series. This is going to be part 2, where we talk about using our senses and the energy of our senses to heal our physical, mental, and spiritual body. So last week we talked all about sound therapy, sound baths, sound healing, how sound can heal us energetically. And then we talked about touch and how important touch and reflexology and human interaction is to raising our vibration, our frequency, and heal us energetically. We are going to continue on this week. I'm not going to spend too much time on an introduction because I know you guys are probably curious for this episode. We're going to start off with smell, how aromatherapy can help us energetically heal. And then we are going to talk about my favorite way to heal energetically using my senses, and that is through light. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to nerd out all about light therapy. You guys know I'm obsessed with red light and blue light when it comes to cosmetology and healing the skin. I love infrared light, using my infrared sauna. I love using color therapy, using different colors to brighten my mood or to change the energy of my space. So we're going to talk about the science, some experiments, some ways that you can kind of wrap your head around using phototherapy, light therapy. We're going to talk about our physical body and how the sunlight can change our cellular structure. And then lastly, I'm going to give you guys some practical ways that you can start implementing light therapy into your daily routine starting right now. So I hope you guys are loving this energetic healing mini series. It's something that's been highly requested, so I love bringing you guys this information. So let's dive into smell and aromatherapy. So to start out, we need to have a little bit of a refresher on energy, what is energy, and the human body. So we know that all things are energy, right? So we talked about that with sound. It's sound waves and sound vibrations entering our ears and changing the way that we feel and think and experience the world. And the same thing with touch. Touch can be touched on different energy meridian points in the body, activating different organ systems and feelings within us. And now we talk about smell, right? Smell, again, it's an energy. It's a vibration that we then experience through our brain. And the human body, again, from last week's episode, if you didn't catch it, vibrates at about 62 to 72 megahertz. That is the resonance of the human body. Now, all things that have life, like plants and animals and humans, all have a vibration, right? This energetic movement of our cells. So this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about aromatherapy and essential oils, because essential oils are plants that all have their own vibration. And this is called phytotherapy, using plants and understanding plants to heal the body. And aromatherapy actually started in 1937, so not too long ago. And they realized that when we have a sensory experience related to smell, it can trigger different emotions and feelings within our body, but can also have a physiological response, right? This cascade of predetermined responses in our body as soon as we smell something. So for instance, we smell something burning, we go into fight or flight, right? Or if we smell something that reminds us of our childhood, we can get really nostalgic. And whether that experience was positive or negative will then determine our emotional energetic response to that smell, right? That energy of smell. Now, something I learned is that our logical left brain, so we have the left brain and the right brain. The left brain is our logical brain. That is not the part of our brain that we use to experience smell. We actually feel aromatic scents. So we use our right brain, the feeling brain, to experience aromatic scents. So technically, our emotions are the sensory experience related to smell. We experience smell emotionally, is essentially what I'm trying to say. So, this is where essential oils come in. They are so readily available, they're easily accessible, and we can use them in our everyday lives. So, did you know that essential oils can have a frequency anywhere from 52 megahertz all the way up to 320 megahertz? Now, remember, the human body, the healthy human body, is between 62 and 72. So, most essential oils are going to vibrate higher than our physical body. So, using them in many different ways, whether you're applying them topically and smelling, or putting them in a diffuser and diffusing them in the air, as soon as you smell, you have that sensory experience of smell of the essential oil. It's then going to trigger that vibration within your body and set off that cascade of physiological responses. And so, therefore, we can use essential oils when it comes to our mental health because we are experiencing these aromatic scents through our right brain, our emotional brain. So, two examples of that would be using lavender. Lavender stimulates serotonin, which is our happy brain chemical. It makes us feel calm and it makes us feel like the world is an okay place. So, we know that lavender stimulates serotonin, which then sets off an entire cascade of physiological responses within the body. Now, another example would be frankincense essential oils. Frankincense actually helps us with that feeling of overwhelm. When we feel like the walls are caving in and there's so much going on, frankincense also helps calm our nervous system. So, these are two essential oils that we can easily purchase and use in our daily lives to affect our energetic health. Now, another essential oil that is absolutely amazing, and when I learned this, I was like, I need to get my hands on some immediately, and that is rose oil, rose hip oil, or regular rose essential oil. It is the highest vibration of all the essential oils, which resonates at about 320 megahertz. So if you put that rose essential oil in your bath water or in a diffuser or smell it first thing in the morning, that 320 megahertz sensory experience is going to then raise your energetic vibration within the human body. And this is why I love using essential oils. They have the highest frequency of any organic substance available. And there's been so many studies done on aromatic therapy, aromatherapy. So this isn't just like some woo-woo thing that, people use essential oils and it changes their whole life. This has been around for almost a century of people using it in a lot of different healing waves. Smells can put us in a totally different mood, right? So when it comes to citrus essential oils, we know that that helps us increase our brainwave productivity. So if you are working throughout the day, they say that you should put some lemon or orange essential oils into a diffuser and diffuse that around your desk because it'll keep you alert and keep you awake. If you want to calm down in the evening, you can use lavender because it's going to relax the brain, it's going to relax the nervous system. You want to go out and have a lot of energy using essential oils like peppermint that stimulate the senses and heighten your experience, right? We know that peppermint is like tingly on the skin. Energetically, it kind of makes us tingle as well and vibrates higher so we can get out there and move and do all the things we need to do to accomplish life. So, this is why I absolutely love essential oil. I don't want to dive too much in. Like I said, I can make an entire episode on aromatherapy and essential oils, but I just wanted to bring this information to you to help you realize that these resources are available for you right now to start implementing into your life to help you heal energetically. And now I wanted to leave the most time to talk about my favorite way to heal energetically using my senses, and that is the sensory experience of sight, light, aka phototherapy. I use this every single day of my life. And when I was going through my mold crisis, dark night of the soul, super, super sick, light therapy, I know for a fact, was one of the top resources I used to shift and change the entire vibration of my body so I could start healing. So let's dive right into all things light therapy. Okay, so I know I said in part one in last week's episode that sound therapy was the most powerful form of energetic healing when it comes to our senses. But I think that light therapy is completely underrated and it's something that we can use for free every single day. So it's very, very impactful, right up there with sound therapy. So we know that light is energy, right? We have all seen the graphs of all the different light waves when it comes to like red light and blue light and the spectrum of the rainbow. We know that there's infrared light and UVA and UVB and all these different forms of light. So it's all energy. And we know that the sun is energy that's feeding the earth, right? It makes the plants grow, and then the animals can eat the plants, and then we eat the animals, and the circle of life continues, all because the sun is energy. So, our body actually responds extremely well to sunlight and the energy that the sun gives us because the sun is our energy source of planet Earth. But even though we know that the sun is so powerful for our body, we end up spending 93% of our life in artificial light. Now, this is not what we're meant to be doing as humans on planet Earth, right? Way back in the days of the cavemen, they lived their entire life around the sun and daylight and moonlight and the resource of energy from the sun. We are sun beings. And light has such a massive effect on our body. It causes all these physiological responses in our body. Now, the beautiful thing about the sun is that it has an entire full spectrum of light. So it has all the colors of the rainbow, right? All the chromatic therapy. It also has infrared light, which helps heal us on cellular levels. It has the UVA, UVB, UVC, which helps give us vitamin D. And of course, people are always going to say, well, the sun can burn you and the sun has all these negative effects. But Mother Nature never gets it wrong. For instance, we know that there's these harmful rays of the sun, right, that burn us, that cause aging, that cause oxidative stress on our cells. But there are other light spectrums, such as infrared light, that actually reduce inflammation and reduce oxidative stress and help heal the body. So, even though there are parts of the sun that do damage, there are other parts of the sun that increase our vitamin D, that help heal us on cellular level, that increases our mitochondrial response, and actually benefits our body. So, it all works in this synergistic, harmonious way. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. So, let's first start with talking about how light affects our body on a physiological level. So, we're going to use the example of the sun. When the sun comes up in the morning, it is very high in blue light waves, blue light energy. And this blue light stimulates our cortisol. This is why getting up at sunrise happens on a normal rhythm. If you're not using curtains or you're going camping, you wake up when the sun comes up because it is high in blue light. And blue light stimulates cortisol production. Cortisol is released from our adrenals. It's the hormone that helps make us alert and awake and gets us going for the day. So by the afternoon, this blue light actually diminishes from the sun. We can't experience very much of this blue light energetic wave. And therefore, when we don't stimulate our cortisol afternoon, our body can start to calm down and decrease energy and get us into more of a relaxation state. And at that point in the day, the sun is high in red light energetic waves. So we experience more red light in the afternoon and into the evening. So this cortisol level goes down because blue light goes down. And now red light gets higher, and red light stimulates melatonin production. And if you guys know about melatonin, melatonin is the hormone in our body that helps us get sleepy, that helps remind our body, hey, it's time to go to bed. So this is why it's so important in the evenings for us not to be using our blue light devices. Like I said, we spend 93% of our life in artificial light. Like when the sun goes down, we turn on all the lights in our house. We're continuing to use our laptops and our iPads and our cell phones, which are all emitting blue light. We're watching TV, which emits blue light. So it's no wonder that our body is so confused and we can't calm down in the evening. This blue light keeps our cortisol levels high. So they actually did a study that observed people who read from an iPad versus a physical book 2 hours before bedtime. And the people who read the book off of their iPad had 50% higher cortisol levels than the people who read the physical book and weren't being exposed to blue light. So it's no wonder that so many of us have a hard time sleeping at night, because this energy of light that we're getting, the blue light, is keeping us awake. It's causing this physiological response in our body, this energetic response from the body to stay alert and to stay awake and not calm down. This is how we know that light can have a direct correlation to our physical body and our energetic health. Now, we are exposed to 3 different kinds of light: natural light, which is the sun, we just talked about that; artificial light, which is what we're exposed through our light bulbs, our TVs, our devices. All of those things are what we consider artificial light. And the third form of light that you probably haven't heard of before is considered junk light. So what the heck is junk light? Junk light is when we have the natural light, which is the sun. Like I said, the sun has a full spectrum of rays that heal us in many different ways, comes through a window or some sort of object that blocks the positive rays and exposes us only to those negative rays I was just talking about. So for instance, if you are driving in your car and it's all windows, you are actually only getting the negative rays, the UVB, which is the burning rays, the ones that create aging and oxidative stress on the body. But those windows are blocking all the positive rays from coming in that create vitamin D, that have infrared light that heals the body. So this is what we call junk light. So actually, if you are working in an office and there's a bunch of windows, you should stay far away from those windows so you're not being exposed to this junk light. If you're in the car, make sure you roll down a window, even if it's just a crack, so a little bit of the natural light comes in through the crack and you get at least some of those healing rays. And also sunglasses. The sunglasses, it's a glass, is only allowing in some of the negative rays, but not the full spectrum of healing that the sun is. So this is the powerful effect that the sun and the energy of the sun has on our energetic body. Now, also there is something called chromatherapy, and this is using the energy of colors to affect the energy of our body. So we know that colors can make us feel, experience emotions in many different ways. So red makes us feel more powerful, yellow can make us feel more happy, blue is considered calming and puts us in a restful state. But it actually goes a little bit deeper than that. It's not just an emotional reaction that we have to colors. Like, for instance, I have an emotional reaction to orange. I don't like orange. It makes me itchy. It makes me uncomfortable. I just do not like orange. So my emotions, my feelings towards that color, that chromatherapy, actually has an energetic effect on my body in a different way than it might have on someone else. So it's interesting to note what colors make you feel good, right? When I wear pink, I love pink. It puts me in a high vibrational state. It makes me excited. It makes me feel alive. So dive into chromatherapy in your life and ask yourself, what colors make me feel good and what colors make me feel itchy? And expose yourself to the colors that raise your vibration. Wear them, paint your house in those colors, look at them more, change the background of your phone to that color. We all kind of do this on a subconscious level, but I just, for this energetic healing mini series, want you to become aware that chromatherapy can have an energetic effect on your body in positive or negative ways. Now, some researchers and energetic healers go so far as to even say that the vibration, the frequency, the energy that a color emits will then also be absorbed in through our body, through our skin. Now, when we see a light, the frequency comes into our eyes, hits the rods and cones of our eyes, then has that emotional trigger, and then we feel, based on the emotion that that color is giving us. That's why red can make us feel fiery or angry. Blue can kind of soothe us, right? And so we know that the colors trigger emotions, but if it's touching your skin, so they go to say that what color you're physically wearing, right? That piece of clothing, that color from the sun hitting that fabric emits a frequency of color, that frequency will then get absorbed into the body. And this goes back to the chakra system when we talked about using specific color crystals or looking at specific colors to heal different chakra systems, right? So if we talk about the root chakra, which we talked about in the first episode of this energetic healing mini series, that color is red. So, wearing red clothes, the vibration, the energy of the red in the fabric would then get absorbed into your body and help your root chakra. So, I thought this was so interesting. So, look in your closet, see what colors you have, what colors you wear, and do you need to wear more of them? So, something interesting to think about. Now, as we talk about the color spectrum, we can go back and look at blue light, red light, all the different colors. So let's dive into red light and the difference between red light and infrared light, because I know this can get a little confusing for people. Red light is when we see the light as red. Infrared light, we cannot physically see, and it is actually deeper wavelengths. So it penetrates the body on a deeper level than red light. Red light actually stimulates our mitochondria, and our mitochondria is the powerhouse of our cell. It's what gives our cells energy. And so most of us have poor mitochondrial health because we're not as physically active, we're not stimulating the mitochondria, we might be sick with Lyme disease, different viruses, mold illness. All these things lead to our mitochondria, our powerhouse of the cell, being tapped out and burnt out. Red light actually stimulates the mitochondria to make more energy. And if we have more energy in our body, we can actually start healing and repairing the cells. And this is amazing for people who are physically ill, have physical ailments where they have no energy. They cannot work out. They don't even have the energy to cook healthy foods, or they don't have the energy to take their supplements. They just are so exhausted all the time. That typically is a mitochondria issue. And just using red light exposed on the skin, like using a Jove light or a red light therapy device on the skin, can help build up the energy powerhouse of our cell again so we can actually flip our healing rate on and start healing. I hope this is making sense for you guys. This is how we can use the energy of the sun. Being outside and exposing yourself to the natural sunlight will give you red light therapy. If you cannot afford a red light therapy device or go to a clinic that has red light therapy, you can go get red light outside in the sun. We should be exposing ourselves to the sunlight every single day for at least 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night. The 20 minutes in the morning is going to stimulate your cortisol. It's going to give you red light. It's going to give you infrared light. And then in the evening, it's going to expose you to the red light that gives you the melatonin release and calms the body. There is nothing greater than the power of the sun. I actually read a study of a gentleman that does a dry fast every single morning before he has coffee. Remember, we talked about this in last week's episode. Coffee will decrease your vibration because of the acidity. So before he has coffee or eats anything, he goes outside in the sunlight. He spends the first 2 hours of his day downloading and receiving the energy of the sun into his body to awaken himself, to start healing, to increase his vitamin D, to build up the mitochondria, and then goes on with his day. Like I said, 93% of our life is experienced under artificial light. This is not what we're designed to do as humans. We need the energy source of the sun to heal and to grow and to make us feel alive. So, getting out in the sun is going to help us with red light therapy. If you can't do that or you live somewhere where there's not a lot of sunlight, you can buy these red light therapy devices. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with SAD or seasonal affective disorder when we don't get enough sunlight, right? It decreases our vibration of our body. Now, some ways that you can start implementing more red light and less blue light into your life is by changing the light bulbs in your house to red. Or if you have those LED lights that you can turn red on in the evening, amazing way to start creating that physiological response of melatonin in the evening. Also, there is a way on your iPhones, I'm not sure about other phones, where you can dim the blue light at a certain time in the evening. So for me, as soon as the sun sets, the blue light comes off of my cell phone and then it has like that warm tint on the screen. I also use salt rock lamps in the evening. So next to my bed or, in different parts of the house. That way you are seeing the red light coming off the salt lamp. It's calming, it's soothing. You can use blue blocking glasses. This is absolutely amazing. If you don't know what they are glasses that help block blue light. from your electronic devices. So if you're someone who works on a computer all day or has to work into the evening, or you are watching Netflix or watching TV at night, if you wear blue blocking glasses, it will actually help reduce the effects of the blue light entering your eyes and changing that cascade of cortisol production, keeping you awake in the evening. These are small little things that you can do to help increase your natural energy that helps you heal on a physical level, right? Having this constant blue light exposure and having this junk light coming in through the windows and not getting enough healing light of vitamin D and infrared is going to, of course, mess with our bodies. So just making slight little adjustments can start turning on that healing rate and help you heal physically. And the sun is free. It's right there for you to use every single day. And lastly, I just want to touch in on infrared light. I know this is something that can be really confusing for people. So I use an infrared sauna. So what is the difference between infrared and red light? So infrared, like I said, penetrates deeper. And as it penetrates deeper, it's actually affecting your tissues and healing the tissues. So it helps heat the body from the inside. Instead of exposing you to a hot sauna where like the heat is from the outside, it actually penetrates into your tissues, increasing your internal thermostat, which then turns on heat shock proteins, which is a whole nother topic. Just know that infrared is a very healing part of the light wave spectrum, and you can do way more research on that. Like I said, in these episodes, I don't want to dive too much into the science. I could make an entire episode on chromatherapy, an entire episode on red light therapy or infrared therapy. So this was just meant to give you guys some ahas, some oversight, some knowledge, and hopefully inspire you to get out and use the sun, use different colors, use this natural resource of energy healing and implement it into your life so you can start healing holistically and growing spiritually. So that sums up our four senses and how the energetic waves of sound, light, smell, and touch can help heal us in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual ways. We will continue on in next week's episode with the energetic healing mini series, talking about a whole nother topic that can heal you energetically. I hope I didn't overwhelm you with too much information. I hope it made sense. Feel free to hop over to the Instagram page, holistic.soul.sisters. Give me your feedback. I'm also posting way more this week on chromatherapy, phototherapy, light therapy, infrared light, red light. I'll also talk about essential oils, give you guys so much more resources. You can dive more into all of these topics. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my podcast. I love when you share my episodes with people in your life that you think would benefit learning from these Taboo Topic Tuesday episodes. Make sure you hit subscribe. We have a lot more episodes coming in this energetic healing mini series. We're going to talk about acupuncture, Chinese medicine, Reiki. I'm going to have a medium, a psychic on here to talk about that kind of energetic healing. And then lastly, we're going to talk about masculine and feminine energies within each one of us and how we can harness our masculine side and our feminine side to live our highest potential and to accomplish our goals and to find harmony and balance in our lives. Cannot wait to dive into that episode. So I hope you are enjoying this mini series as much as I am. Thank you guys so much. And I will catch you in next week's Taboo Topic Tuesday. And until then, keep healing holistically and growing spiritually.